The real reason why the Man United tax exists. Well, Joao Neves was heavily rumored to be transferring to Manchester United, but when Manchester United was linked, it was the transfer clause or nothing. PSG then came into the mix after Man United was scared away. And they end up getting this lad for 60 million plus 10 million add-ons, which is, around half of what Man United was being forced to pay. Obviously, Renato Sanchez will be going on loan to Benfica, so that does add a little bit more value. But Manchester United was getting hoodwinked and bamboozled when they were told transfer clause or nothing, because it was excessive, over 100 million for Joao Neves. Now, I never thought that Joao Neves was a player that Man United should be looking into, because I feel like Kobe Mainoo was already the type of player Joao Neves was, and there was no need to spend over 100 million on another type of Kobe Mainoo style player. Instead, they should be going after a CDM to replace the likes of Casemiro, whose best days are behind him. I had Jamie Carragher feeling so bad for the lad after he got absolutely schooled by Crystal Palace, saying, leave the football before football leaves you. Head out to Saudi, mate, because it was absolutely horrendous. You would have never thought this guy won, 5 Champions League with Real Madrid. You would have thought, oh, Casemiro. Oh, this lad has been playing for Bournemouth and just got his upstart with Manchester United. No. This lad was playing for Real Madrid, three-peated and everything. Absolutely crazy. But over here, 120 million, had Man United fans saying, oh, why do they get a discount? Well, there is something called the Man United tax, right? Many United fans are complaining about this, but lads, looking at your track record for Man United, and your transfers, you shouldn't be surprised that they wanted 120 million, the transfer clause, right? Look at the history of Man United. This is Manchester United football transfer heritage, lads. Jadon Sancho here, top of the list. You got him for 85 million. At the time, he was valued at 100. It was a decent little deal from Dortmund. You might be looking at this, and it's like, oh, at the time he was valued 100 million. You get him for 15 million discounted. Oh, that's beautiful transfer. Well, if you take into the context that this man was literally getting loaned back mid-season to Dortmund and took Dortmund to a Champions League final, which I guarantee Jadon Sancho will never play in another Champions League final as long as he's in the shirt of Manchester United, right? So they paid 85 million to let this guy go back to original club they purchased him from and go to a Champions League final. It's absolutely insane. Paul Pogba, 105 million, right? Record-breaking deal for the club. You know what happened to this lad? On a free to Juventus instead of selling him, which I was very adamant. Rafael Varane, 40 million, 70 million at the time. I think this isn't as bad as a transfer. Obviously, injuries have hindered him. I'm just going to say this isn't terrible business at the moment. Alexis Sanchez, obviously didn't pan out. 34 million is not that much. And, he was pretty bad considering his weekly wage was absolutely terrible for the books. But he was a bad transfer, but the fee wasn't horrible. Bruno Fernandes, you can't really say much about the transfer. They got about what they paid for. Mason Mount was on a free, or not on a free, but 65 million. He's still too early to tell. Harry Maguire here, 87 million. Harry Maguire, mate. You paid over 27 million more than he was valued at. Obviously, the English tax, the Man United tax, but now the lad isn't even valued 10 million. They'd be lucky to get 10 million if they sold him today. That tells you a lot about this transfer. One of the most made fun of transfers of all time. 84 million for Lukaku from Everton. That was an absolute flop. I'm just going through flops and flops and flops. Literally, out of all the transfers I've gone through that you can't say is a flop, is Bruno Fernandes. That's it. And you might be saying, oh, what about Paul Pogba? For it to be your most expensive transfer in club history. And this lad, right, Paul Pogba, has not delivered what a record-breaking transfer should. What has 100 million gotten lads in the past? Well, many at one point considered Gareth Bale a flop for 100 million at Real Madrid, and this guy scored winners in multiple Champions League finals. All right? I'm telling you, Man United was told, 100 million for Gareth Bale and he's going to win you 2 UCLs. They take it in an instant, even if he's not performing, consistently throughout the season. Now, Paul Pogba, gave you, FA Cup glory, Europa League glory, but lads, for 100 million, you could get that for 25 million these days, even less. You had the Luke De Jong giving Sevilla Europa League glory. Come on, you just keep going lower and lower. Di Maria 75 million didn't pan out. You know, it's just absolutely saddening, right? These transfers that you overpay and it doesn't work out. You're overpaying for these lads, and Benfica's looking at this and saying, well, Anthony as well. Oh my God, how have I forgotten about Anthony? Anthony was 35 million was what he was valued at the time. Look at this, 35 million, and somehow they got they got 60 million extra off of you. How has Ajax gotten 60 million extra from his value off of you? And he's been absolutely horrendous. You think Benfica looked at this transfer history and said, oh, you know what? We'll just ask for 70, 80 million and see what they say. No. They said transfer clause or nothing, mate. That's it. And they knew if Man United really wanted him, they would have got double what PSG had offered and they got it in the bid accepted. And that's why Benfica ended up selling to PSG for less, because they knew that Man United, if they really wanted to, would have overpaid, and obviously they got scared away, but it was worth a chance. And instead PSG come and pay, a rightful amount for Joao Neves. And obviously Man United, if they were told at first, oh, it was probably 70 million, 70, 75 million, maybe they would have been interested. But was it, in my opinion, Man United, you don't really need a player the caliber of Joao Neves in the style. You have Kobe Mainoo who fills that role that Joao Neves would have been filling for you guys. Instead, you move your assets to a central defensive midfielder. That's what you should be looking for instead. And PSG get their lad right here, a young phenom Portuguese lad for 70 million. Not a bad price considering what he's, the age and the potential that he can bring. Now, Man United, the tax, it's all because of you. Nobody else, the fans, all these experts, you can blame nobody but Manchester United itself, looking at the track record, on why there's a Man United tax, all right? Nobody else could be blamed but this club right here and their transfer horrendous history. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos, and leave a comment down below on why you think Man United have this tax on them. I believe it's because of their history. Others may think because it's a huge club, but when you check out that Anthony deal, I don't blame any club that is offering for a lot whenever Man United comes knocking on the door. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.